Sammy.
I did a Sammy.
This is why we come on and ask if we're okay before we start the official recording. Good job.
Thanks,
hello.
Barry.
Hello. Thank you, Barry. Hi, everyone. Sammy would be proud, Marcus.
Yeah, I know. It's because I muted it for the starting soon screen. I didn't realize that muted it on the other, things, but it did. Anyway, who cares?
I don't know. He's in charge of the tech.
Yeah.
I'm just here to look pretty.
Okay, fine. Fine. Okay. Anyway, we're going to get started officially in a couple minutes, maybe 1:05.
Mm-hmm.
Anna's tweeting. Oh, should I tweet?
You can retweet mine if you
Okay, I'll retweet you.
Or write your own.
I have nothing to add. I'm watching your profile. I'm waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 100.
There, you're tagged, so you don't even need to do any work.
Well, yeah.
It's for... Oh, yeah. What's for the blooper reel? The part where
Us
we're...
not having a mic.
It'll just be silent. A silent blooper reel.
Yes.
How's everyone doing today?
Get this going.
We've got 4 folks in the chat now. Feel free to say hello. We'll be interacting with the chat throughout the recording, so feel free to leave your comments. And they might make it into the permanent episode that will go in the archive. I've got my American coffee right here.
Great. Okay,
hello, Shellbell Cosplay. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to get the recording official podcast segment started in a couple minutes. A minute?
A minute?
When we feel like it.
When we feel like it, you know.
Do we feel ready?
I mean, why not?
Why not? Wait another minute. Have another sip of my coffee.
Great. So we're streaming. I tweeted.
Great.
Oh, cool.
Oh, thanks, Shellbell. Really appreciate it. First time checking it out. Wow, for the big episode 100. We hope you enjoy. I'll try to introduce it properly then. I don't think I always do a good first time introduction when we kick off. All of our weird in-jokes. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you never explained any more what the different sections are necessary. Well, you kind of do.
Oh, that's true. I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory. But anyway, yeah, good to know. Thanks for sharing. I'll try to be more first-time listener-friendly.
Yay.
Did you hear about this on the All Access stream? It would be great if so. My promotion would have
I think some people did because, see, I got, these followers.
Great. Oh, yes. Yeah, Shellbell followed 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Great. We want to get started?
I guess so. I'm ready. Whatever. Let's do it.
Okay. Oh, you did. Great. Thanks again for stopping by. Okay, so we will do our normal kickoff and get into things?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
Yes. Go. You lead in. You're the introist.
Okay. Here we go. Hey everyone, you're listening to Pixel, where the X is silent, but our love for games most definitely isn't. This is the big episode 100 live from Los Angeles, California, here with Marcus, of course, and I'm Anne, your host, as always.
Yep.
And yeah, we're here to have a fun time. We originally had this rather fun plan. If you've been a longtime listener of the show, you'll know that we did a live stream for episode 69, wink nudge, and we had Marcus did a really great overlay where it looked like we were kind of presenters on a newscast, and so I had Los Angeles and Sydney, since I'm based in Sydney normally, and we were going to do that and kind of surprise everyone with, it's merged together and here we are. I'm touching it. I'm we're in the same room. But then the All Access thing kind of happened a bit more suddenly than we were expecting, since we had this plan. We knew when episode 100 was happening ages ago. It just so happened to be when I was going to be in the U.S. Yep. So we know what we're doing. But All Access happened, and you all, if you're following us closely, know that we're in the same area. So the magic was a little gone, but that's okay. We can still be here together and have lots of fun for episode 100. So first off, we just sort of go over what we've been up to in our intro segment here. And since we've been hanging out in LA for a few days, we're going to talk about what we've been doing together. Actually, first though, before LA, I was in Portland area with my family for a couple weeks. And then I came down here this week. And while I was up in Portland, you came to visit.
Yep.
Yes. And so you found out that there was something cool happening. So what did we get up to while we were there?
Yeah. So I was looking around and I saw that the Portland Retro Gaming Expo was happening. And that's one I've actually wanted to go to for a long time now.
Oh.
Yeah. It is, as it sounds like, it's a retro gaming focused event where they sell a bunch of, old games. And I had heard of it because I've gone to other retro gaming expos, like Classic Gaming Expo in Las Vegas. And also there was another one in Vegas, but I can't remember what it's called. But, Level Up Expo. Yeah. But those ones aren't, Classic Gaming Expo definitely doesn't happen anymore. It's long gone. But when there was things like that happening, they would have like little pamphlets for Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I'm like, ooh, that seems cool. But I have no reason to go to Portland, and I don't really want to go like by myself and blah, blah, blah. So I've never gone. And then I was looking at it and like, you're going to be here this time, and it's going to be this weekend, and you're still going to be there. So why don't we both go? Why don't we go?
Yeah, why not? And I didn't know what was happening. I was like, dang, there's cool things happening while I'm here. We better go. So you flew up, stayed 2 nights in Portland. We met up. Partied, we had barbecue together. This is our first time ever meeting in person. We've been internet friends for quite a long time now, since the early days of the Chick Pixel blog, and then we started doing this podcast together. I think it was 2018,
something like that. Yeah,
something like that. And here we are finally together. So the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, for those who are interested in hearing about that, it is, as you explained, Retro Gaming Expo, but they have a, the usual like vendor section, people selling games, fan arty kind of stuff, all sorts of things. And then the arcade game section, what do they call it? They're kind of technically 2 sections. So there's like the console gaming area where you've got the TV set up with different consoles, but then the arcade machines, so they had a bunch of pinball machines and then other older gaming machines. So I guess that's all the gaming area. And that is all free to play, which I didn't know. I don't go to many conventions. Marcus here is like the convention savant of conventions. He goes to so many, but really because there's so many in the LA area, whereas in Sydney, not as many. So I didn't know that those would be free. So it was very fun to like just go try everything. And people were generally pretty good about honoring the like, hey, you're waiting. Okay, I'll jump off and you can play. Yeah. We tried a lot of very retro stuff I hadn't played before. I haven't played Atari 2600. What was that funny thing? The Vector one?
Oh, Vectrex.
Vectrex. That was, so it has its own screen because it needs to be able to display the vector graphics, right? Oh, we played that horrible clown game on that, didn't we? It was this game where what was it like? What's the other?
It's like Breakout, I guess.
Breakout, yeah. So very like Breakout, except for they're clowns flying through the sky and they bounce on a seesaw into the air and you collect balls and real interesting stuff. But it was fun to see all the different games there and just pick up and play whatever. Played E.T. a bit, which I also have never touched in my life, and it looks really hard. You fell into a pit and then that was it. Couldn't get out again. It was pretty sad. But aside from playing games, and walking around the showroom where they have all the stuff to buy, which we'll get to Marcus's hall in a minute, I think. They had a few sort of exhibition-y type things, gallery stuff. There was for some reason, a complete N64 game display. So all of the games ever released for it, which is not that many, right?
Yeah, 200 something.
200 something. So they could have them all on display there. There was a Pac-Man exhibit from is it the Retro Video Game Museum?
What is that called? I don't know what it's called, but
one in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we've got our cute. Isn't this great? They're all about Pac-Man. I guess because of the gallery thing, but normally they wouldn't be Pac-Man themed. I don't know.
Yeah. It's too bad we didn't. I don't know where the thing is. The art, the booklet. Remember the booklet had that official Pac-Man art.
Oh yeah, they had. Oh yeah, they had the artists from some of the Pac-Man games did like this really cool art, 2-piece art, where one had Miss Pac-Man and one had Pac-Man, right? And then it had like Portland sky in the background. It was so cute. If you Google the Portland Retro Gaming Expo for 2022, I'm sure you'll be able to see that art, but I highly recommend checking it out because it's really cool. They had shirts of it and everything. So yeah, we got to see those exhibits and then get to shopping, which we did a lot of. And I remember we were saying, oh no, this is gonna close at 5. The arcade was open till way later, like 10 I believe. Well, we better get moving, because literally every booth you stopped at full of all these retro games you never see anywhere, at least for me. You know, in Sydney you don't see a lot of this stuff, and you know, maybe you can get it off of eBay, but to have it all right there. And then Mr. PS2 fan here, you know, every time there was a PS2 section, he'd be like, hold on, I gotta go look at this. And it was like sifting through all the PS2 games. So you had a pretty good haul. Hey, do you remember some of the highlights of
Yeah, I remember
purchases?
some. I got Orphan, Stretch Panic, Mission Impossible, you know.
Classic.
All these great games. A Shaman King game, a Gundam game. I already had 2, but this is like the one I didn't have. Yeah, so just a handful of things, maybe like 10 games in all. I don't remember all of them. But they are ones that I did not have, or if I had them already, I didn't have them complete, which would mean, you know, the box and the manual in addition to a disc. So I like to be a complete collector for PS2, so that's important as well. I would have liked to look at my like list of PS2 games that I had to confirm. But there was like no internet access.
Oh yeah, it was really bad.
Everything was like, because everyone was in there, it was just like no one could go on the internet. So it's like, from memory, I don't think I have these. So.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good. Nothing was just a pure duplicate.
Well, that's good. I didn't buy any games, but I picked up a Final Fantasy IX art book that I didn't even know existed, actually. It came out in English, apparently, by Brady Games, the people that do all of those guides. And they did that really funny Final Fantasy IX guide that was like, play online or connect to connect to the internet and read the rest of this tip. Well, we know how that goes. I guess there might be an archive of it, but yeah, can't really do that easily anymore. But yeah, they released an art book, and Final Fantasy IX is my favorite Final Fantasy game. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, and I got a discount on it. It said $20 on the sticker right there, and we saw a lot of people haggling, and we were kind of like, you don't really feel in the mood to haggle. If the price looks good, just buy it. But I handed it over to them to buy, and they said, oh, we'll give it to you for $15. And I was so stunned. I was like, I short-circuited for a second. I was like, oh wait, what? Why? Oh yeah, sure, of course. Like, why would I say no? I'll pay $20 for that. It was pretty funny. What else did I get? Oh, I got those Animal Crossing Sanrio amiibo cards, and then we saw them for cheaper, and then I bought them at Target later. So that was a little bit of a loss, but I guess the $5 discount on the artwork made it work out. Yeah. I think that was all I got. I didn't really buy that much. Yeah. I looked a lot, and I took a lot of photos. We saw some really great finds, like the Magic Knight Rayearth game. There was one that had the stickers in it, but they were, asking for $700 for that or something. Some of the prices were kind of crazy. We also saw the Hello Kitty Dreamcast, the blue version, which you apparently have the pink version. I have the pink one, yeah. Pretty good. This blue version was, I think, $650.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, so you had to kind of, well, because since you couldn't access the internet, you couldn't check prices, so, you had to kind of consider whether the prices were good, or I guess haggle if you wanted to. M-Disc says, you haggled with your aura. Yeah, that's right. I just had this intense energy, and she's like, oh, I better give her a discount. But I really enjoyed it. Again, I'm not, I don't go to a lot of conventions, but it seemed pretty good to me.
Yeah. No, it was great. A lot of times conventions that are not as established will be pretty small, and it's kind of like you're done in an hour or two. But this was very large, honestly, for what it was. I was surprised. I was really surprised. It's really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to know. And if anyone ever happens to be in the area or wants to check out a new convention, maybe put Portland Retro Gaming Expo on your list. Barry says, I bought 2 games that were worth far more than $10 each, but I also was not going to say a word and bought them for $10 each. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Don't say anything. So what else did we get up to? How about next up, we'll talk about the Aksys stream, since we're both on that this week. So we popped in on the All Access sort of announcement stream they had this Thursday. Time's kind of a blur, so I might get dates wrong, but just the other day. So Sammy was on as usual and had a bunch of announcements, updates on upcoming games, and they did sort of the trailers and all of that news, and then they had a little break, and we came on after that. We went to the Aksys office. It was really nice to meet everyone and see the office and say hi to Sammy in person. So much fun. So we were hanging around, actually watching Sammy in another room on a computer, and if you were at that stream, there was a little bit of some dead time in that. I think it was because everyone in the office was watching the stream at the same time, and we overloaded the internet and made it drop out. And I remember hearing Sammy on the other side of the door go, oh no. He's just as adorable in person as he is on the streams. But yes, so after the announcements happened, then we came on and talked mostly about the Otome games. We talked with Sammy about the stuff I've been doing. And then the new Otome game announcement, which is the biggest deal for us as Otome game fans, Tengoku Struggle, which looks really great. And I think the All Access, I'm not sure if our commentary section will be completely uploaded to YouTube, but if you're here now or listening to the podcast recording, usually Twitch archive will keep things for a little while at least, so you can watch the whole thing there if you want. And I think they will probably at least put some clips up on YouTube at a later date, Aksys Games. Yeah. Barry says, I think Sammy's working on putting it up on YouTube. Okay, great. That's good to know. What else did we talk about on that stream? Oh, first of all, why don't we go through all the news and things? We mostly focus on Otome games in our segment. I think Sammy will be doing another stream next week, I believe, where he goes over all of those other announcements on the All Access stream. But there's some cute things, not just Tengoku Struggle, so I wanted to mention them here briefly. We've got this really cute game called Cuddly Forest Friends. It looks like a party game, I guess.
Mini-game collection.
Mini-game collection with these little animals that are super adorable, coming in 2024. There's even a capybara that looks so cute. I am definitely going to try that. Then they announced Record of Agris War is going to be ported to Switch.
I was just thinking I should have brought my box of that, but...
Oh, well, you could, I guess, go get it during our break if you really wanted to show it off.
I do want to show it off. He
has a story about this box that I think I've heard it 3 times.
Yeah.
Been here. We've been talking about the original... This is the original 360 version? And the limited edition.
Yes.
I don't know if they're going to be doing that again for this release, but I think this release is for some anniversary, 15th anniversary, something like that. So that'll be coming out in March 2023, so very soon. And then they have the super cute Spooky Spirit Shooting Gallery, which is like a Japanese yokai themed shooting game. So the trailer has some kids using their, Joy-Cons as little pointers and shooting really cute little like spirits, obake, and it really has like a summer festival Japanese ghost spirit feel to it. Apparently this is actually a very big seller in Japan for the company. Is it Marvelous? I don't think it's Marvelous. I forget the publisher, but the Japanese publisher is doing very well with this title, I think, with the kid market, and it certainly looks cute, so I'm interested to try that as well when it comes out in 2023. Then we have a Nord 9 VAR Commons update that has been announced for release in March 2023. That's the game that I've been working on updating the localization. I actually finished that up a couple weeks ago, so you can play it in March if you're so inclined. I think that's it for the news.
I think so, yeah.
from the
From the
All
stream.
Aksys stream. Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about this now? Okay. Well, we also talked about how I worked on Paradigm Paradox on the stream, and Marcus actually got his copy today, which is great.
Oh no, it's not gonna work.
Keep it over here.
It's over here.
So this was the Aksys Store version, right? That
Yes.
came with the CD.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool to be here when he got it and be like, oh my god, it's my game. So this is the first ever Ultima game that I've worked directly on as a proofreader, and it's very exciting to see it come out. And we will actually be having a giveaway for it very soon. So if you stick around, you may be able to win a code for Paradigm Paradox. It officially comes out on the 27th for Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But why don't... Oh, Shell Bell's getting their copy on Monday. Yay! I hope you enjoy it. The berries just shipped. Awesome. Yes, no more fear of snow in Northern Ivar Commons. No. And some other changes, actually. So I hope you play it and like the updates. But yeah, so other things we've been up to. The number one thing... Okay, number two thing. First, coming to LA, had to see Marcus. After that, go to Disney. That was the other thing. Disneyland was on the top of my list, especially because it's October, which means Halloween season, and I love all the Halloween decorations they do. I've never been able to see them in person, so I was like, we need to go. It worked out that we actually went to the Aksys stream, did that, and then we had to go to Disney immediately after because our ticket was for that day. It was very hectic, but a lot of fun. Yeah. Marcus, you've been to Disney a bunch of times, right? Because you live relatively close by.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times?
8? I don't know.
But the last time was a while ago, right?
Yeah.
Before COVID.
2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay.
Or whatever, 3
time,
whatever.
Yeah. But you knew all the cool rides, and so you had some recommendations.
Yeah.
We waited in line for a few, but mostly did like walking around, shopping, of course. I got a pair of ears, Alice in Wonderland ears. Took some photos. We managed to stay there was a light show at 9:30 that was pretty fun, where they lit up the castle and had Halloweeny music. And what else did we do? Oh, I got a Starbucks. I got a Disney Starbucks, had a special cup and everything. Man, that line was long.
Yeah.
It's like right when you get in, it's in the first shopping area.
It's on Main Street.
Yeah, Main Street there. And it was interesting. It was so fun to go and just see all these people just be really excited to be in the same place. Everybody was so nice, like I don't know their political views or anything. I don't know what they've got going on. Everybody's just happy to be at Disney. So that was really, really good. So we went on 3 rides. I actually went in saying, doesn't matter if we get on any rides or not. I don't want to wait, 60 minutes or some of these absurd times. But we were able to do pretty well. I think the longest we waited was for Haunted Mansion, when you say. And that
Which was what, 35 minutes?
I don't know, it was more like 55.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't know. It was definitely under 60, but a bit longer than some of the others. Oh, the other thing is we downloaded this app. The app is really good. If you ever go to Disney, I recommend it because you can open it up and see at a glance what the wait times are for all the places, and you can order food. So you could pre-order food and it will tell you what window you can go pick it up in, which was pretty good considering if you look at some of the places when we wanted to eat, you'd have to wait an hour and a half, 2 hours. But if you just rocked up in person, you wouldn't necessarily know. You'd have to walk there and ask, the wait time, but you could see it all in the app, which is nice. So using the app and our wits, we managed to get on 3 rides.
Well, and 4. There was also the first one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. What was the first one? You tell the folks
Yeah,
what that was. I forgot.
Yeah, the first ride we went in was It's a Small World.
The classic. And that had a good 10-minute wait. I have been in that before because I've been to Disney World in Florida. My grandparents live in Florida, as many folks who live in America's grandparents do. And they would often take me to Disney. So I had been on that. But I don't know, we were like, this is iconic. It's 10-minute wait. Let's just get on it. And, it's cute. It's cute. The song's annoying, but the little characters are pretty cute.
Yeah.
So it was fun looking around and, seeing all the different things. There were the Aussie characters. There's a kangaroo in there somewhere, I think. And Donald Duck was even in there with the mariachi stuff. And, yeah, it was fun. But, man, we were were we at the very front? I think we were.
Yeah,
we were at the very front. We had these guys behind us that were really getting the hoot out of it in sort of that, we're here to make fun of it kind of way. So that was interesting to hear them like kind of jeering behind us. I have a feeling a lot of the people that go on the ride aren't necessarily going on it because they're like, man, I love It's a Small World. Yeah. It's sort of a meme now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but that was cute. And if we hadn't gone there, I wouldn't have found the one piece of Scar merchandise in the whole park. We found one Scar ornament. We both love Scar from The Lion King. I don't know why. We like villains and Scar's cool. So this is like he's sitting on a rock and there's a crescent moon behind him. Yeah. The crescent moon lights up and it plays Be Prepared. It's amazing. So that was right next to the ride. I think there was a little shop there. I didn't see it anywhere else and they only had one. And I was looking at it, I'm like, it's $25. No, I'm just getting a Scar. So it was worth it in the end. Yeah, the holy grail of Disney merchandise, Barry. That's right. Barry asked, did our stomachs manage the rides? I would say for me, yes, because we didn't really go on any intense rides except for Indiana Jones, which was the most ridey ride. I don't know, like roller coaster-y kind of ride. It wasn't even a roller coaster, but it was herky jerky, as you like to say. Yes. And it was sort of jerk you around, and there's a couple of drops. But actually, the funnier one in terms of surprises was was it Haunted Mansion or Pirates that had the drops that you didn't tell me about? I think it was Pirates.
It must have been Pirates.
Yeah, that there was something where we went on, and Marcus was just like, "Oh, you just ride on the water," and I think it was Pirates. Yeah,
it probably was.
But there were a couple of drops, and it totally surprised me. And you said, "Oh, I didn't even remember these drops were in this ride, and I've been on it." So, just like your memory for video games and other media, you can't remember the rides you've been on. I've been talking a while, Marcus. Why don't you tell them what else we did?
I mean, what we went on the Haunted Mansion, which was decked out for October, which is where they switch over the normal Haunted Mansion stuff for the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff instead. Mm-hmm. So that's fun. I'm glad I got to do that. I've actually never done that.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think usually when I go, it's just regular Haunted Mansion, or that it was actually closed because it has to close for them to do the conversion. And so I think the last time I went, it was actually closed. So I had to just not go at all because of bad timing. But yeah, it's fun. It's just like a lot of the same things. But of course, you have Jack Skellington and Oogie Boogie and, the other characters are there.
Yeah.
And they're doing, the speakers and stuff rather than other things. So I thought that was fun. I'm glad we got to do that. I thought that was a good ride, and I like that one a lot. It's definitely a classic, of Disney, so that was a good one. And then Pirates, that was a good time. That was the one with the drop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. And pretty early on, like right at the beginning.
Near it.
Yeah. And that one was fun, too, because, again, we had some interesting people on the boat with us. In front of us, it was a pretty young, I think, couple with a little girl. And they were just like singing, and at one point the guy got up and his female partner was like, "Get down, what are you doing? Don't," because they say don't, wave around because you could fall off the boat. And he was, I don't know if he was drunk or high, but he seemed a little too loose, and they were really silly. But it's fun to be with people that are really getting into it. And I never been on Pirates. I don't know if Disney World has it, but I haven't been on it before. I hadn't been on Haunted Mansion either. So it was neat to see these like two really iconic ones, and then of course Indiana Jones, also very iconic apparently for a ride. So I got all the like big ones. I feel. Did I miss any I should have seen?
I mean, no, not necessarily. You would, Splash Mountain is pretty famous, though we weren't gonna do that because you get wet.
Yeah, no.
Also, that's so scary to me.
Yeah. So I don't know if the folks listening have ever heard that you're scared of rides.
I mean, like roller coaster type things. Big drops, really.
You were scared of the end of Indiana Jones. You're like, look at me, I'm shaking. So Even Indiana Jones, which I didn't.
I mean, it's kind of a
bad.
drop. It's kind of a drop.
Yeah, but you know,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
not a
but
roller coaster.
Splash Mountain is a much bigger drop because you're on a little wooden log thing, and then you when you get to the top, you and it tilts down because it's gonna go down. Like, and you saw that, right? Like,
Yeah, you could see
You-
it. You could see
when
from the
you're-
outside.
when
yeah.
you're up there, you don't see the path. You just see out Disney,
Oh. You just see space in front of you. Out,
and it's so
yeah.
scary.
Yeah, that would be scary.
So yeah, I'm not a fan. I will do them, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah, well, we didn't do anything that would.
Yeah, but Disney itself is pretty gentle compared to other places.
Yeah, like even Universal Studios.
Yeah,
is
everyone else is more extreme.
Yeah. Oh, we went to, worth mentioning, we went to the new Star Wars area,
Yeah.
which is brand new, right? You've
It's
never
new-ish.
seen that
I haven't
before.
never seen it before.
Yeah. It was quite small. We were surprised how small it was, but that's where we ate dinner. Maybe because it's small and out of the way. We had to look at the map a couple of times to figure out how to get there. And then when we were looking at the app, it was the one with the shortest wait time that looked like, dinner type food. There were some, fast food, like corn dogs that were shorter wait. But I thought the food was not bad.
Yeah.
We had, it was kind of a ramen, curry ramen type thing. It was like green curry broth, right?
Yeah.
And then like the pork, the tonkotsu style pork that you would get on ramen and ramen-y noodles. And then what was the beef thing?
Beef something, I don't remember.
Beef something with noodles in it, I think. Not bad at all. And I got a taro cold brew coffee. I had a couple coffees, so as you can see, everybody knows that I like my coffee. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was great. And I got some shopping done. As I said, I got the scar ornament. I got some ears. It was another good one. Oh, I got a couple pins. I got a gargoyles pin with Goliath on it. And a really, really cute turning red pin of the sort of like this art style they kind of interpose in the regular art every once in a while. That's more like kawaii anime inspired art. So it has like her panda form and these little icons all around are very, very cute. So I'm glad I got to pick up some things. I really wanted to get ears. That was amazing. I was like, I need to get a pair of ears. And I found the Alice in Wonderland ones. I'm a big fan of Alice in Wonderland. So I'm glad I got them. I think that's it for our trip so far. We've been doing a lot. Since we're coming to the end of this segment, right before we jump into Media Minutes, where we talk about we've been watching and playing, we're going to do our quick giveaway. So first up, thanks to Aksys Games, we've got a copy of Paradigm Paradox for the Switch to give away. This is a North American Switch code. And the rules are, we're going to ask a question. It's quiz. The first person to type the answer correctly in chat, you don't have to spell it correctly. We're not going to be that strict. First person to type it in correctly wins. And I think you hopefully can direct message the Pixel Packa's channel.
Twitch?
If you cannot, get in contact with me on Twitter at Apricot Sushi or Marcus, or contact us on Discord if you're on Discord. So we'll make sure to get it to you. If you have trouble and you're not in any of those places, just let us know in the chat and we'll sort something out during the break. But okay, are we ready? Everyone ready? Here's the question. What is the protagonist's name in Paradigm Paradox? This is the default name for the protagonist of Paradigm Paradox.
Okay, so it can't be what I do. I always change the
Yes, that's right, Rosius. Yuki,
Ooh.
first time chat. Congratulations, you've won a copy of Paradigm Paradox. We will try to get that to you, but if you have any trouble, again, just message us here on Twitter, wherever works for you.
Yeah, it looks like on Twitch they have whispers.
Yeah, if you could whisper Pixel Packa's Switch, that would probably be the best. Anyway, so are we going to take a break? Do you need a break?
I want a break to get that game.
Yes. Okay, we'll take a quick break. And then we will
get into the Media Minutes.
I should know how to do my transitions here. Yeah, so we'll take a quick break, no more than 5 minutes or so, and then we will continue on with Media Minutes. Hello, we are back. Thanks everyone for waiting, and congratulations again to Rossius1215 for winning a copy of Paradigm Paradox for the Nintendo Switch. We're going to have another giveaway very soon, so stick around if you want to win another game. I'm not going to say which yet. I will say which one we do it. But it's from JazzBlue, so BL related. All right. So before we get into Media Minutes, where we talk about basically whatever media we've been consuming lately, be it games, movies, anime, what have you, Marcus wanted to show us all, do a show and tell because we have video here today, his special limited edition copy of Record of Agas's War in honor of Aksys Games re-releasing it next year. So
Yep.
have at it, Marcus.
Yeah, I guess I'm not going to be able to show it up close because of the fact that it like green screens out.
Uh-huh.
But, oh, look at me, I'm just
Oh,
playing. But
whoa,
anyway,
whoa.
yeah, so this is the box. It is called the Really Naughty Limited
Oh.
Edition. That's the name.
Up here, yep, there it is.
And
Oh my
everywhere,
God. Oh my
everywhere
God.
on every side of the box
It's horrible.
has like really suggestive artwork.
Look at this. Can you see this? She's eating a
Something.
sausage. Oh my God.
Yes, everywhere, even the bottom.
Pixel triple X pixel. We're gonna get banned.
Well, it's not safe for work. This game is only rated T for teen. But
Aksys, are they gonna? Wonder if they're gonna do this again. Hold on. What on this? There's a girl that looks like she's in a bunny suit eating a banana, and it's horrible. This is. How can they do that? How is this allowed? And what's inside the box exactly?
At the time, I think this was maybe the first time that this happened in an English release, where they released one of those mouse pads.
Oh yes,
So,
lovely. That's not as raunchy as I was worried it would be.
Yes, very tame in comparison to the box. And then there's like I think it's one of those covers.
What, a pillowcase cover?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't look happy.
No. Oh. So you've played this game, Marcus.
Sure, I have a little bit.
It's I guess it's sexy or no? Is it the game itself?
I think that's kind of a key component. You breed. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong. I think there's breeding.
So
involved.
there's like dating and like.
I don't know about dating.
Oh, okay. Well, you gotta get the ladies interested, right?
I don't know. Anyway, it's just one of those games, and it's not good. I don't remember why I wanted it. I think just because of the fact that it was one of those few games that had one of those mouse pads. And I was like, oh, interesting. I never had this in a limited edition before. Because I collect collector's editions.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Not because I was super intrigued by everything that's on that box.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, tell everyone about your story of picking it up in the store.
Yeah, so I pre-ordered this game when it was going to come out, of course, from my local GameStop. And I don't know what year this was. I guess, what was it, 2008?
No, 360 era.
Well, whatever. I'm going to say 2008.
You keep going.
And
I'm look it up.
So, either way, whenever this game came out, I pre-ordered it, and then it came in, and I went to the store to pick it up, because this was before I, just ordered directly from stores online or whatever. And when I went to pick it up, the person behind the counter got the game and was looking at the box and was basically agape about this art, and then called over one of the coworkers like, hey, come look at this. I guess I'm the only one who ordered that game at that store. So
in 2010, by the way.
Oh, 2010. Okay.
So a good 12 years ago. So yeah, it would be the 15th anniversary of the Japanese release is what they're celebrating next year. Yeah, look at this anime. You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, so I felt great.
I'm sure you did. So look at this guy buying this. Look at this thing this dude's buying. Let's all laugh at him. This is why I don't want to go to stores in person anymore. Not that I ever ordered that, but fun. I don't know that 2023 Aksys will release that same type of limited edition.
I don't think so.
Check out these anime tits. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So thank you for sharing, Marcus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about what we've been up to lately, which has been together mostly because we've been hanging out. So, yes, also deeply embarrassing, that story. uh, Marcus is, older and wiser now. He can tell these stories without being too embarrassed.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, that's fine. I don't care anymore. I just thought it was like, what? Leave me alone. Just give me my game.
Yes. So when I came over, you were like, let me show you all the stuff I've got. He has the greatest game collection. Of course, all the PS2 games, all the visual novels, but he's got like every console I don't have. So plus emulators, everything cool. Stepmania, metal DDR machine thing, all kinds of stuff. So we were gonna play some retro games. We brought out your Mister. Is that what it's called?
Yes, it's called Mister. It is.
It's a little metal box.
Well, it's technically just a computer board, but mine is in a case. But yeah, it's a device for emulation, at least the way that most people use it. Except that it's different from regular emulators that you might like use on your computer, because those are emulating the software, the games themselves. So that's why, often if you try to launch like a PS2 emulator, let's say, that not all the games will work because it's kind of like emulation based on software, which a lot of the different software does a lot of different things. Some games do these really unique things that none other games ever did, so it's hard to kind of create full compatibility in that respect. Versus the Mister, which is also an emulator, but it focuses on, and it's a very confusing concept, but it's focused on hardware emulation, not software emulation.
Okay.
So it's trying to basically mimic the actual system's hardware. So if you imagine if the hardware is perfected, if this is the exact same as an NES or an SNES, then that means you wouldn't have that compatibility issue because this is a true NES, so
it's emulating
every NES game that worked will work.
Right.
And if it did some weird things on the true NES, then it's going to do some weird things on this version of the NES as well. So that's what it is. So it's just kind of a more accurate emulator, but it's just fun that you can easily kind of, load your games on there and go through various consoles and just do whatever you want. So
you say easily, but we played a bunch of games and I never figured out how to actually load a game properly. Every time I'd be like, Marcus, I can't do it. Because you have to back out, and then the it's not like a high-tech interface. It looks like an old computer screen, and so it's like load, save, all the settings are weird, and I couldn't figure it out.
The UI leaves something to be desired.
But it does. I mean, everything that we played was emulated well, and it was cool to see, all the SNES games on there. Is everything we played that we're going to talk about at SNES? I think so, yes. Yeah. So that's kind of the main one for me that I know of, but you've got everything, a lot of things before. What would you say?
The system only runs up. It doesn't run up to like N64 or PS1 really. Right.
So
maybe
SNES is kind of the latest. Game Boy Advance.
Kind of. I think there are people working on like PS1 and Saturn, but like N64 is kind of a weird case, so I don't think that's a possibility. But yeah, so things kind of when 3D games really, really, really took hold. So anything before that, and also computer systems as well. I didn't show you that, but like old computer systems like Japanese PCs, because there was a whole bunch of those that had all kinds of games released on them. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we just basically went through the list and picked things that looked interesting or that we knew were like, oh yeah, I like that game. But the first one that we're going to talk about is a game called the Bronchiosaurus, I guess. And I got hung up on this one because I was like, Bronchiosaurus isn't a thing. I thought it was Brachiosaurus. So we clicked on it, and it's a game to like teach kids about asthma. So there was a story at the beginning about how the dinosaurs lived on the Earth, and then the smog came, and all the dinosaurs couldn't breathe. And I don't remember how they
developed technology like an inhaler or something for the Earth.
But then the mean T-Rex took it away and split it up in all these pieces, and now you're Bronchi, and you got to go get those pieces back, but also while learning about how to treat your asthma and avoiding things like dust piles. And there was something else.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But then you're collecting little lungs to like keep your air capacity up. It wasn't good, but it was very interesting and amusing when we were playing it. Like, I had no idea this game existed, so it was fun.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Not you. You may be able to play Myst on it.
For the computer
on the
emulation,
Mister,
right?
Because I think it would accept MS DOS and possibly Windows 95 emulation. So yeah, you could play Myst on the Mister. Some version of it.
At least one version of it, probably. And the other, I mean, we tested out a lot of things. So the other one we wanted to mention was Nosferatu for the SNES. I'd never heard of this.
I don't think I had heard of this game specifically either.
Yeah, it was, so it's based on, like, the original, I don't know, is it based on the Nosferatu film?
Well,
or the Dracula, and it's just called Nosferatu?
I don't know what the specific is about it, yeah.
Yeah, but we did try the Dracula movie game, Bram Stoker's Dracula, that film game adaptation, and that was just not great. No, so we skipped that one. And then we played this, which was very cool, Prince of Persia-like game. Very, very much like, just Prince of Persia with a vampire skin. And what was the thing that we really liked about this? I kind of forget now.
I don't know.
You don't know.
We were like, oh, Nosferatu, what's that about? And then we launched it, had a really cool title screen. Like, whoa.
Yeah, the music was really good. I think you were talking about how the music sounded very good for an SNES game. So it was surprisingly good.
Yeah. I think it was fun.
It was fun.
Wow,
it was fun.
It was hard. It was hard. Stuck. Yeah, we got stuck, but...
Yeah. The way we're talking about this is kind of the experience we had playing these, because I will mention now that we were both high. And this, it's not legal. Pot is not legal in Australia, but while I've been here, I have tried it a couple of times, and this is the first time in my life ever trying pot. So...
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations to me. It's been fun. But actually everything we're talking... No, not everything we're talking... Nearly everything we're talking about in Media Minutes was engaged with while on the... What's some slang? On the... I don't know. After smoking the devil's grass. Is that what they...
Devil's lettuce.
Devil's lettuce. We didn't smoke, though. We had some gummies, so that doesn't work. Anyway, so if we're like, we don't really remember, but it was cool, that was the experience we had when we were playing or watching it. Oh my god. MJ says, now I want to see LPs of you playing crappy retro games while high. That would be really fun. Unfortunately, I can't do it while in Australia, but maybe they'll legalize it one of these days. That would be very fun. You would, I'd probably find me more frustrating than I am normally, because I can't do this.
No. Well, remember on the Mister, it also has all, like, action replay and all the different, like, various cheat codes loaded in. So we were able to do things like, okay, we can't figure this out and we're dying too much. Just put, like, infinite ammo, invincibility.
Like, who cares about any enemies? Let's just walk through them. That's very nice. And lots of other cheats and things you can do. Oh, thank you, Shovel. Shovel says, congratulations on getting to try it being pot. It adds another level to your adventure. It certainly does. It certainly does. Some of these things I remember thinking afterwards, like, would that have been as fun? I'm not sure. But maybe we would go back to Bronchi the Bronchiosaurus now and be like, yeah, that's not even worth talking about, but it was fun at the time.
Yes.
So that's all the games we've got on our list here. Next up actually was something before the high adventures the other day. You learn about asthma while smoking. It is ironic, isn't it? But when we were in Portland, we had some downtime, so we watched a movie, and that was Scream for Help. You brought this to me with absolutely no preamble and said, Anne, let's watch this. So why? Why did we do that?
It's something I like. It's a movie I like, and it's a movie that I wanted to share with you at some point. And when we were just like, what should we watch? I was like, what about this? What about Scream for Help? I don't know.
So, do you remember what year this movie's from, or about roundabout?
80s.
80s. That seems very 80s. So this movie is about a teen girl who is convinced that her stepfather is trying to murder her mother. She's got a hot new stepfather who's, wears very flashy clothes and even kind of flirts with her and her friends, or is kind of creepy anyway, but he's been doing things that she thinks are attempt to kill her mother, but everybody thinks she's crazy, basically, and she's on this quest to prove that he's trying to kill her mother. And then we learn that probably the reason why he would want to kill her is because they're very rich. He may have married her for the money and then wants to kill her off to get the money. It was a really weird movie. It was not at all. I didn't know what to expect, because for one, the title "Scream for Help" seems like, oh yeah, it could be a legitimate horror movie. It's not. I wouldn't even call it horror.
No.
I couldn't tell if it was taking itself seriously, because there were a couple scenes, like chase scenes, like she'd be on her bike and she'd be trying to follow the guy who is a car salesman while he's driving around in his car. So she would be blatantly following him in broad daylight on her bike. And this like really like jivey 80s music would be playing. And I'm like, is this like a fun day in the, city? I thought this was like a tense, like, oh my God, he's trying to kill my mom scenario. But had some pretty fun music. Mm-hmm. And very weirdly funny scenes, like her best friend talking about how she has her whole life ahead of her, and then immediately after saying that, getting hit by a car and killed. As you can see, Marcus really enjoyed it. Yes. I did too. It was very funny. I can't think of any of other specific scenes that were really funny, but it was just this like constant wondering what decisions were made to make this film and what the tone was supposed to be, because there were some bits that were like weirdly like dark. Mm-hmm. Like with the dad said some things and I was like, whoa, yeah. Going there, and then it would go to something like, I've got my whole life ahead of me, and then immediately hit by a car, which maybe it was supposed to be impactful, but it just came across as really funny. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I would recommend it if anyone's looking for just a pretty silly 80s movie to watch. Next up, the rest were during the high period. First we watched Lake Mungo, which is a ghost mockumentary actually filmed in Australia. It's an Australian film. All Aussie actors, lots of Australian stuff. So whenever something kind of Australian popped up, I'd be like, look, Marcus, did I add any insights to the watching or no? I think I said, Victoria's a state or something like that. Yes. New South Wales came out. Yes. That's another state. Yes. There was some word or slang that neither of us knew. So I get my, honorary Australian card revoked for that. But it wasn't overwhelmingly Australian, no. But watching it, you're like, oh yeah, there are these little things in it that definitely put it in Australia. So why don't you set us up with the premise for this?
The premise is that this family goes, to the lake and is chilling out, having fun. But while they're there, the daughter disappears and is never found. Well, they don't find her at the moment, but presumed either she ran away or she died, and then they do find a body in the lake, so it's like, okay, she died. But the point is that now after this, tragedy, the family starts seeing the daughter in like pictures and things when she should definitely not be there. So it's kind of them trying to uncover the mystery of the ghost of their daughter. And there's some twists and turns and other things. And I really like it. And I hadn't watched it since, I don't know, maybe when it came out. And back then I was really impacted by that film. So, and I've been talking to you about it and like how people keep mentioning it just around the world. So then I think you were like, we need to watch it. So.
Yeah, because you mentioned how affected you were by it. So I thought, well, Marcus it's not often that he's impacted this significantly that he keeps bringing it up. So I wanted to see it. I'm still not sure what about it really, because when we were watching it, I was waiting for something really horrible to happen, because knowing what I know about Marcus and how chill he is about all the things that freak me out in movies, I thought there's got to be something really bad. But I don't think it was super scary. It wasn't scary, but the way it plays out is not really what you expect, especially if you haven't watched a lot of horror media, I think, or things like it. You got the spooky, ghosty elements, but then some things kind of happen, in the second half where it kind of makes you, scratch your head a little, and a little bit of surprise, I think, to turn some things on his head, and has some interesting tension in it, I thought. So it was well done. I liked it. And that continues our mockumentary series of watching things. So I think we'll watch some more as time goes on. Mm-hmm. Then next up, we've got Arebato. Is that the...
I guess so, yeah.
Arebato? Is that what language is that?
Rapture. Spanish?
Spanish? It was a Spanish movie?
Yeah.
Okay, so Arebato means rapture. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the translation, or localized title is Rapture. This is I don't know, Marcus, you this is another one where he said, let's watch this then, and I said, okay, put it in. I don't know. I don't even know where to start. I don't know any context for this movie.
Well, I wanted to watch it because, and I haven't seen it before, I've seen it with you. Mm-hmm. I wanted to watch it because it is from the label Altered Innocence, and they like to put out movies under their label that are kind of focused on coming of age movies, but like queer coming of age movies. So I have a lot of their stuff so far, and I do like what they're putting out. So this one I was curious, like, ooh, interesting. And, it's supposedly horror-ish, and that it's queer, and, it's also going to be offbeat and, like, surreal or whatever. So those are things I like. So I was like, I want to see. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it was what I expected, but I don't know. It's hard to say. I really don't remember, because at that point, I was like,
we were very high at that point.
What's happening?
That was late in the day. That was one of the last things we did, I think. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think the movie itself is very confusing.
No,
it's
is
weirdly done. It's basically about a guy who wants to be a filmmaker, or he's having difficulties, and then it's about his sort of relationship, with this person. He is like the cousin of a girl he's dating, it seems like, and they kind of go out to his family home, the cousin's family home, for a vacation or something. And the cousin is very odd, and he also likes making films, but he has a very specific way of making films. He likes to do that, what do you call it, the continuous, not stop motion. It's like where it takes the shutter goes off every 10 seconds or something, and will just keep going for whatever period of time. So he had this thing. He was really into that, like, to an extreme degree.
Yes. There's
a lot of weird horniness in this film, because I remember we were about halfway through, and I was like, Marcus, is this horny? I don't really know what's happening, but are they horny for film or something? Or are they horny for each other? I don't know. So they are horny for each other, because there is a sex scene with the two guys at one point. And okay, the one thing that really stuck out to me is that the weird film guy, the cousin, he loves silly putty.
Yes.
He is always squishing silly putty. And in the sex scene, he has the silly putty, and I think he gives it to the other guy, and the other guy's like, by the way, they're also high in the movie, not just us. The movie is about people making films and getting high on, like, cocaine and stuff. So they're high, clearly, at this point in the film. And they're looking at the silly putty like, whoa, this is the coolest thing ever. But then when they're going to have sex, he takes the silly putty and he smacks it on the on the wall behind him, the bed frame, and you see this silly putty like slowly dripping down. It's so weird. The whole film was so weird. I don't even know what I watched at the end of it. some kind of vampire stuff.
Yes, because the guy's dying slowly.
But you don't really realize that until later on in the film. I don't know if he... Oh, because the way the film is set up is the main guy who wants to be a filmmaker, not the cousin, the main guy, receives a videotape from the cousin.
Oh, yeah.
It's not his cousin. I keep saying cousin, but it's his like ex-girlfriend's cousin. He receives a videotape that's like, if you're listening to this, I'm already dead type thing. And it's a video with this voiceover, and the video is the video footage that cousin character was taking with his stuff, that sequential photography method. So he becomes like obsessed with capturing whatever is sucking his life force, right? Yes. And so obsessed with it that it basically kills him.
Yep.
Oh, what a weird movie. So if you want to see a really weird movie in Spanish, it's got subtitles. Aribato. Do you want to watch it again at some point because you want to see like if it's as weird as you remember?
No,
or are you kind of like, that was enough for me?
No, I like that experience.
Okay. It was an experience, everyone. It really was. This has been some weird horniness the moment Pakas showed us his GameStop purchases. Everything's been weird since then. At least they didn't try to use Silly Putty as lube. Yeah, I thought I was going to go there at one point, but I was like, this isn't that kind of film, maybe. I don't know. So... We have we have a weird selection here. Normally, I would say I watch more mainstream movies. Marcus watches the weirder movies. Now that I'm here, it's kind of like, all right, Marcus, whatever you want to watch, so might as well. But we have some stuff on the docket that's a bit more mainstream, like Annette. That's one we
potentially, yes.
Potentially. That's a 3-hour musical with Adam Driver in it. I weirdly like Adam Driver. Unfortunately, Capsule J is not here because I know we've discussed Adam Driver and my weird interest a couple of times. But so that's came out a couple of years ago, right? I don't know.
I thought it was last year. I don't know.
Okay, or last year.
I don't know.
Time, But that's mainstream. Do you know who else was in it? Only Adam Driver matters. That's all. So that's it for today. But maybe next episode I'll have some more normal stuff to share. So since we're at the end of this segment, I think we shall do our next giveaway. Yep. So, folks, we have a copy of Dramatical Murder for Steam to give away. This is a Steam key for Dramatical Murder, so that's the all ages version. I'm looking at you, Marcus, because that would be correct, right? You have to go out of your way to download the...
Probably.
But warning, the game... I'm going to warn you, if you enter this giveaway, the game is originally an 18-plus pornographic boys love title. So just please know that that's the content. If you decide to download it, I'm pretty sure the Steam version is all ages and you have to get that patch, but that's the kind of content that is in this game. So please be 18 or over if you enter this giveaway. And we're going to do another quiz, and you have to be the first person to say the correct answer in the chat, and we will confirm with you in the chat that you have won, and we will whisper you because that seems to be the way to do it.
Oh, and Barry's saying yes because she had to do it for Tagainu.
Okay, great. Good to know. Thank you, Barry.
Another Jazz Blue release on Steam.
Yep. Okay, great. Also, just a caveat, if you've already won a code, you're not eligible to win another code on the stream. So even if you're the first person to get the answer, if you've already won one today, we're going to let the next person have a chance. Okay, is everyone ready? The question is, what kind of animal companion, aka all-mate, does Alba have in Dramatical Murder? This is the type of animal. Doesn't have to be too specific. Pomeranian, Barry. Yes, a Pomeranian or a dog would be fine. You have won a copy of Dramatical Murder. Congratulations. Marcus should be in contact with you, but we know how to find you, Barry. So if we can whisper you,
yes,
you will definitely get your code shortly. Whisper. Okay. Great. There it is. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy it. If you haven't played it before, or pass it on to somebody who hasn't. Okay.
Just
So,
to Barry.
yeah.
There
Gonna
it
be a
is.
gift? Oh, well, I'm sure they will really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Just warn them what you're giving them.
Okay, that was sent.
Okay, great. Do we want to take another break before we get into the news segment, which we have a lot of news, folks. You know, we've got Silent Hill, Resident Evil stuff to talk about.
I'm good.
We're good? Okay, we're good. Let's keep on going. So next up, notable news section of the show
Why
where we
can't you
talk
do
about...
that?
It's hard when you're live, okay? I'm not on my groove. I'm live and you're here sitting next to me, so it creates a whole different energy from podcasting by yourself. But I was reading Barry's comment. Oh no, this person knows. They know what they're getting into with dramatical murder. Okay, that's good. We know how to. Yeah, Barry, we know how to find you. Yes. So anyway, notable news is a segment where we talk about news that is notable to us. So it's not the segment where we cover everything that's happened in the past 2 weeks, but things that we're interested in, namely games, but also if there's any film, anime, manga, whatever news, industry news, we'll talk about it here. Today is a very horror game focused segment because first off, we have to talk about that Silent Hill 2 transmission that happened this week. And I have to say, it was a real experience to be able to watch it in person with Marcus because it happened this week while I was here. And Marcus is, I was going to say the world's biggest Silent Hill 2 fan, but we all know that Jess exists. You know, what's her name on Twitch?
Voidburger.
Voidburger, yeah, Voidburger and others. So there are many big Silent Hill 2 fans, but you are one of them as well. Big Silent Hill 2 fan. So we sat down to watch this, and Marcus, we would start us off on the first thing they announced, since you have feelings.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of announcements, surprisingly, for this stream. I didn't really expect anything at all, aside from the fact that, there were obvious rumors, but I was there to expect nothing and was very surprised. So I think the first thing that they showed off was Silent Hill 2, a basically full-on remake of the original Silent Hill 2 game, but for modern systems. I think for now they've only announced it as PC and PS5, but probably.
I thought they had the whole exclusive thing. Remember?
Yes, but still coming to
PC.
PC.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
console exclusivity
right now. Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, there may be follow up. I just don't remember at the time. I didn't look into it more. I'm like, whatever. Maybe I'll get a PS5.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have a PS5, so Marcus may have to get one.
Or if it comes out on PC day and date, then I'll just get it on PC, whatever. Yeah, so that was announced, and it is coming to us from Bloober Team. Bloober Team. And I don't like Bloober Team.
He says this. He's changing our lovely breaking news thing here.
Yeah,
notable news. There we go.
I was almost gonna write Bloober Team.
It is breaking. Bloober Team sucks. You can add on there. So what was your tweet?
I don't remember what I tweeted.
No, it says Bloober Team does not deserve this.
I think so.
That's what he tweeted after we watched this. Bloober Team, the folks behind Layers of Fear, The Medium, Observer, and others. Marcus was proud of his tweet. Bloober Team does not deserve this because it could be construed as they do not deserve to be able to remake Silent Hill 2 because they shouldn't be allowed to have their hands on this precious gem. Or it could mean they don't deserve the horrible hate they're getting if they're getting hate. So you could interpret it either way. You may not be a horrible person, but I know. We know here the truth that Marcus does not like Bloober Team. And I would say I have not played like a lot of their games at all, but I've watched a playthrough of The Medium, and the way they deal with themes of mental illness and other sort of heavy topics, so like stupidly, honestly, and insensitively, I don't know how they're gonna. I mean, if they like have no creative control, and Konami is just like, you gotta, do this, and this, and Konami, sticks to the original, then maybe it would be fine, but I don't trust them. You don't trust. Why don't tell us why you don't trust them, Marcus?
Well, I mean, very similar reasons. They're not very good at what they think they're good at. but also the games are not scary in any regard, even though they're all almost like everything they've done is a horror game. Yeah, Barry, I know what you're talking about. There's a video where a streamer's cracking up over a jump scare. Is that the one where like a little tiny like child thing just runs and
running over and because the way it's scripted, right? He's like walking through a maze or something, and the little kid like runs, so he'll come back around, and the little kid will run again. It's hilarious.
It's very stupid. And he's like, it's like, why?
Oh yeah, they run and they hit something.
Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah. So what? I don't know what game that is.
I think that was Layers of Fear.
Okay.
But yeah, their games are not scary. I don't understand like who the 12-year-olds who like Five Nights at Freddy's. Like sure, there is, I guess, could be a bit thematically scary. It's like, ooh, it's a spooky dark house. But nothing that they've made is scary and particularly enjoyable. The Medium, I did play through most of it, and it's not even fun. It's not even fun to play. It's like so boring. It also feels like antiquated, like older style gameplay, not like modern.
I just remember she has like a knife or something, and she knifes very slowly the skin doors like over and over again. Yes.
Yeah, so I think Bloober Team has not shown themselves to be a good horror developer, at least not yet. Maybe they'll get there at some point, but they've released like 5 games or so far, and nothing has really ever stood out as, wow, they're really growing. They're getting good, I think they're good, artistically, visually, like, okay, it's some good artwork, because they did Observer, I believe, and that actually looks pretty cool. That has some really cool visual design stuff going on, but you want a good story, and I mean, Silent Hill 2 already has a good story, so yeah, if they're just copying the exact same thing, same script, same everything, then I guess it could be all right. But I am unhappy that they got this game. I don't think it's right.
It's not right. It ain't right. I think something interesting about the stream that I found a bit weird is there was this whole section. They got, who was it? They got the composer back, and the artist were both on the stream from the original Silent Hill 2. So they have the Japanese team members, which we don't really know what's going on with Konami and whether they're hired. He probably has contract for this game. But then they talk about Bloober Team, and they're like, they're really big fans. They're doing a good job because they're such big fans of the original. And I'm like, for a game that's like, Konami's big. I know Silent Hill isn't, it's not Call of Duty levels of big sales numbers, but this is like a big AAA game. And to just talk about the team that you hired as big fans, and maybe they didn't really talk about their skills, it wasn't like, oh, they're really good at conveying the tension and this and that. It was just like, they're really big fans and they know Silent Hill 2 and they were all inspired by it, so thus they should make this. That seemed very weird to me for like a major company to
I'm
say.
a really big fan too.
Yeah, they should hire Marcus to make the next game. yeah, that being a good fan big fan doesn't necessarily mean you can make a good game. And as Barry mentions, it's jarring that the themes Bloober fails on are the themes that are super at the core of Silent Hill 2, and that's very true. So it's scary. That's the scariest part. Amanda said this earlier. That's the scariest part of the announcement, is them getting it. But there were some other interesting things in the stream. A lot of stuff, as you mentioned, a lot of unexpected things. I think this one was kind of the big one that had leaked, or that people were rumoring. There was rumors for ages that Bloober was going to do Silent Hill. So there were some things on here though that I didn't know about. What are you laughing?
Sorry, I just remembered because we watched the stream and then we watched the Giant Bomb React stream for it. And I think, was it when they announced that Bloober was doing it, Jess O'Brien, Voidburger started crying.
She's like, no. Yeah, you weren't that bad, but Marcus was also very upset when we first saw that.
But I understand, yeah.
We haven't even talked about the fact that the stream was not really a stream because Konami botched it and just uploaded the whole video right away. So we were like, no Twitter, we're not looking at Twitter, we're going to watch this sequentially, we're not going to scrub it. But instead of having the countdown and then play the pre-recorded stream at the time that it was 2 p.m., they just accidentally uploaded the whole video so you could watch the thing in full immediately. So, yeah, it was a very interesting experience all together, the whole thing. But next up was a new game, a new teased game that wasn't really any gameplay or anything. It was just sort of this screen of it was a radio with some voices and little, clips of something. But this is this title of this game is Silent Hill Townfall. So we got Downpour and now Townfall. By No Code Studio, so another third-party developer, a Western developer, right? And you're familiar with them. I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, they released 2 games, Observation and Stories Untold. Observation is pretty cool. It's kind of like a space game. You're in space station, and it's kind of more like Gone Home-esque kind of thing. But it's pretty cool. I haven't played Stories Untold, but people say that's really good. So, fine. Like, one good game and one game that people seem to like. Great. Much better. They should have done Silent Hill 2.
But what's their style of game? Like, what kind of games are those?
Like adventure.
Yeah. Okay. But we have no idea what Townfall is.
No.
So...
if they do something like a Gone Home Silent Hill thing, I would be fine with that, honestly. It's not like this is a mainline game, so who cares, Could be fun.
Yeah, so looking forward to hearing more about that. Who knows when? Sometime. Next is something I also don't really understand what it is. It's like a multiplayer... is it an ARG? I don't know. Silent Hill Ascension. This is the thing where it's like... it's gonna launch and then the players watching can impact the story as it goes. Is it like a Netflix,
was that Black Mirror?
Yeah, Black Mirror thing. Do we know?
Maybe we know, but I didn't research since the stream, so I don't know.
We've been too busy having fun, guys. We haven't done a lot of research aside from we watch these streams and we're gonna talk about them. We've been busy, with Aksys and Disney and all of that. But yeah, there was a lot of time spent on Ascension, and they got all these different people on to talk about it. But I remember there was that one enemy. Remember they show the scrolling up of this enemy, and we thought it looked like a fantasy villain. Like Marcus is showing that you remember.
Kind of.
The look on your face did not scream recognition to me, but I remember there was it's kind of like the trailer had some kind of villain that to me did not look like Silent Hill thing. It looked more like a fantasy monster. But I don't know. Would you play this just because it's Silent Hill, or
depends what it is?
Did you play every other Silent Hill game? Would you say that's come out? Video game.
Yes.
Okay, so you're not too picky, right?
No, I played Book of Memories on Vita, and that's not even anything Silent Hill basically.
Really?
It's a multiplayer game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, there you have it. So maybe you'll play it and tell us about it. And now the next bit. So when we were talking about, kind of predicting what would be on the stream, what would be on the stream and what's going on with Konami, like why are they doing a Silent Hill thing? You mentioned that the original Silent Hill movie director was the one who said there was going to be something? Or
yes. What? Well, I mean, many people have been rumoring things, but a more recent rumor was that he kind of offhandedly told people that there was going to be new Silent Hill games.
Is that what he said? Oh, games. Yeah. He was talking about games.
And when I first heard that, I was like, that's so stupid. Why would he know? Like, that movie's so old. Why would they be talking to him still?
Why would they be talking to him still? Wow, it turns out they're going to be doing a new movie. He's adapting Silent Hill 2.
It seems like it, yes.
Yeah. But they're maybe calling it Return to Silent Hill. It wasn't really clear if that was the official title. And we also don't know. So you've seen these movies. I have not seen the Silent Hill movies yet, but he directed the first one, right? And then there's a second one?
There is Silent Hill Revelation, yes, but I don't believe that's by him. That's
right, but that's it so far, too.
Yes, 2 films.
And from what it sounded from watching the Giant Bomb stream where they talked over it, it wouldn't make sense, or it would be dumb for them to continue the storyline off of Revelation. So people are saying he should just make a sequel to the first one that he made, or have this one stand alone. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Marcus says it makes sense, so must. So they spent a lot of time on this, and one thing remember thinking when we were watching is they only have storyboards. They don't have any actual footage. They were showing clips of the old Silent Hill movie that he did. And at the very end of that bit where, he talked about it in a lot of lofty ways, and he says something really weird about new technologies that they were going to utilize, and we were like, what? And like, we're going to bring this film to modern audiences and give them what they like. What do modern audiences like? TikTok. I don't know. We're going to make this for the teens. I have no idea. I didn't really extrapolate on that at all. But, what was weird to me is that, they said that filming hadn't started. Did they say casting?
They didn't have cast.
They don't have cast?
Yeah.
They have a script? I mean, they must have a script if they're storyboarding. But it's very early on, so we don't even have a window for when it's going to release. I would think if you're going to do this kind of stream where you announce all these things, you would want a trailer for this movie and be like next year or something. But this is a long way off. So I'm kind of wondering why they chose to even have this big transmission with all this news. Because all the news clearly, or at least the Silent Hill 2 game remake, is tied into the movie. But yet the movie isn't anywhere near ready to start promoting, really. They could have waited till it was further along. What do you think's going on?
I don't know.
What's Konami doing?
I don't know. I don't know why they did it now. But I do think that the reason for all this media, these new games coming out, is to promote the movie. Is to allow there to be Silent Hill games available to purchase. When people see or hear of this movie and are like, what's Silent Hill? And then they try to go on their PS5 or whatever, or PC, to play a Silent Hill game, and there's basically nothing there aside from, I think, Silent Hill 4 is on PC and still available, and maybe Homecoming is also, I don't know, but it's not as easy to access a lot of the back catalog, so they're just like, okay, we gotta get some new games out there so that people will be able to buy them on modern systems. I don't think they need to do it soon since the movie's so far off, but whatever. It
seems like the game's pretty far along, though, because we saw game footage. I mean, far along in game terms. They've been working on it for a little while. But, yeah, it's all very odd. Konami continues to mystify. The final announcement, which to me was the most interesting of all the announcements in this stream, as someone who, I've seen Silent Hill 2 played, but I did not grow up with a big love for Silent Hill 2 specifically. But Silent Hill F,
or Forte,
some musical thing, is going to be a Japanese, Silent Hill originally is Japanese, of course, but it's going to take place in Japan, which we were like, wait, can Silent Hill be in Japan? Because Silent Hill is very much an American set story. This town is this, quintessential kind of northeast sleepy town, I guess, really inspired by things like Stephen King. But this is taking that in a totally different direction, very Japanese, classic Japanese town, not like a big city like, Tokyo Ghostwire or something like that. And it has really interesting staff on it. And the trailer was gorgeous, but really creepy. That ending bit, the face coming off and it was a lot for me, but very cool aesthetically, even though, a bit gross. But just really interested to see more of that. And the writer for this is Ryukishi07, who you know from the Umineko and Higurashi games, right?
Yep.
You've played those? Or
yes, I played
all of them.
Yes.
So do you think he'll do a good job on writing?
I think so. He's, and that those games are not new, and the stories were already really good back then, so I'm sure that there's still capable writing to be had here for a new horror game. And those are both like horror-esque or horror adjacent. So yeah, definitely I would say he's a good fit. It was very surprising.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's very, I don't know do you know anything else he's done? But like those games are very kind of niche.
It's a lot of what he does is still kind of related to those games.
Yeah,
but,
okay. It's a very big title for him to be working on. And then we've got the character and creature designs are by Kira, who worked on Deathmark, and that game has gorgeous art. Also very similar, like there's lots of creepy things growing out of people's bodies in Deathmark as well. So you can kind of see that influence there. But I really like their art style, so I'm excited that they'll be involved in this project. And yeah, just from like the staff perspective and the kind of freshness of the concept, that one's the most exciting to me. Though it will be interesting for all of these. I mean, the first two games, actually, yeah, who's working on Ascension? We didn't write down.
It's multiple people.
Multiple. Oh yeah, there were a bunch of different studios working on it. But this one, Sound Hill F, I don't remember having a studio name behind it.
I think it did. I'm just not sure who it was.
Yeah, we don't remember. But it will be interesting to see how Konami handles all these different teams and situations. Like, I think it's safe to say all of us here, as in me and Marcus, together are both wary of Konami and what they're doing. And I mean, most people who are familiar with games are not happy with how Konami has been handling things, at least since PT. I know PT has come up a couple times in the chat, and yeah, PT was a debacle. So who knows? I mean, they could cancel all of these, right? Like none of these could ever see the light of day for all we know. So with no release dates, no timelines, have 5 new projects. Have fun. Oh, Barry says that their friend got the Dramatical Murder Code and they're excited. Oh, well, glad to hear it. Hope they enjoy it. And I think we've still got 8 viewers. So, well, no, it's on the record. We have 8 viewers, but we will probably be doing one more giveaway at the end of the news segment. We have one more code to give away. That's from Aksys Games. So we'll do that here to thank everybody for stopping by and listening to our 100th episode. But we've got a couple bits of news left to discuss. There was also a Resident Evil showcase this week. All the horror. And we didn't watch that one live, but we did catch up with it today. I'm not really interested in talking about the Village DLC because honestly, even though I love Village, I'm not super into the look of the DLC. But we've got the third-person mode. And we still won't be able to see Ethan's face because they specifically were like, oh, if you turn the camera to look at his face, he'll look away because Ethan's shy, which I love. I think that's the best thing ever. And there's a demo available, I believe, now for all the systems. So I kind of want to download the demo just to see how the third-person mode feels compared to the original, which I played on stream. Oh, and Barry says third person means she can play it. That's good to hear. I know a lot of people have difficulty with first person, so it's definitely great that they're doing that, and I think it will be even a fun experience for people who've played the game in first person. I feel like there are many games that do that, give you that option.
Later, no. There's some games that have like 2 options to begin with, but I don't feel like I normally see it as like an addition later after the fact.
Okay. So yeah, we've got that, and then the DLC with Rose, the daughter. That's fine and all. They're adding updates to Mercenaries and Village. We've got Reverse. Wait, no, it's
RE-verse.
RE-verse is how we're supposed to pronounce it. That's gonna finally come out on October 24th. So that's a multiplayer, multi-platform game that you get for free if you have Village already. So I think technically I can play it when it comes out. That's just some kind of anniversary multiplayer game, so it's got all the characters from all the games in it. It doesn't look super amazing to me, but I might try it anyway, because why not? Leon's in it. That's a plus.
Yeah.
They've also got Resident Evil Village coming to Mac, which we knew about. The past games are getting cloud versions for Switch. We also have heard about that before. Let's get to the good stuff. It's more Resident Evil 4 news. It's coming on March 23rd. Marcus, what was exciting about the gameplay and trailer that you want to talk about?
So the thing that was cool, well, there was 2 things, but the one that was really notable is because when they first announced like Resident Evil 4 Remake, you're watching and it's like, oh wait, where is this one character that I have come to expect for Resident Evil 4 who wasn't there? But in not the gameplay trailer, but the, I guess, main trailer, they showed 2 shots, I think, of well, I don't remember his name. Is it Lord Salazar?
Yeah.
But
Lord Salazar.
We know him as Little Lord Boy.
Little Lord Boy. Abby, formerly of Giant Bomb, did a playthrough of 4, and she always called him Little Lord Boy, and that's... I mean, he's a little tiny man who's, like, ancient because of the what is it? The Lost
Pelagros.
No?
Pelagros.
Pelagros.
Pelagros, whatever the heck.
The things.
Pelagros, yeah.
And people always make jokes in the game about how he's like a child. Leon always jokes about it, and he gets mad, and he's really nasty looking, and he looks just as nasty. He's in it, and he looks gross, and they're being true to the original game. But we also got not just him, but the other fellow.
Yes.
The local who... I want you to share the story that you shared with me, Marcus, about how much you liked him.
Well, apparently I didn't like him enough because I don't remember his name right now. But, yeah, so there's a part in the game where Leon and this character are trapped together in a building. Well, they hold up in a building while a bunch of the villagers come and attack it. And it's kind of like this big thing that's like 10, 20 minutes to play through, where you're kind of like trying to fortify the house, and then once the enemies start coming in, you're just trying to take them out and survive. Both of you. Yeah, he can't die, or you lose.
Oh, that's nice.
No. I mean, if he dies, you lose.
Oh, he can't die. Oh, I see. Yeah. I thought it was like he's just there to help out.
Yeah, yeah. But I really, really love this moment so much. So like, I made a save on the GameCube, so that I could before that, right before there, because there is a save point. So that I could just keep replaying this scene over and over again.
So they better keep it in the new game, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes, it better be there. And he looks good, even though we can't remember his name. Looking good in the new trailer. And I've never played Resident Evil 4, so I think Curse Blessing probably isn't here anymore, but Curse Blessing is very keen for me to play that on stream. I'm sure I will. I had a lot of fun playing Resident Evil Village. Yeah, that was my first time playing beginning to end a Resident Evil game, and I did it on stream, and yeah, it was very memorable. So I'll do that with 4 as well when it comes out in March. And I'm going to be sure to pre-order the deluxe edition because Leon gets some really good costumes that we're very excited for. There are like 4 that they announced, right? And 2 of them appear to have Ashley as well, but she's like a silhouette behind him. We don't care about those. We care about the 2 where she's not present. The romantic and the villain one. Yeah, those are the good ones, folks. Those are the good ones. If you haven't seen them, Google, Resident Evil 4 remake Leon costumes. They look very fun. I'm excited to get that version. And there's gonna be a limited edition with like the figure and all the fancy stuff. So hopefully you'll be doing a collector's cabinet article.
I would like to. Yeah,
when it comes out. So March is looking exciting. You got Resident Evil 4 Remake and Norn 9 Var Commons, which I hope everybody will buy for the Switch. And then you can pick up the fan disc for Norn 9 later in 2023 when that comes out. Finally, Marcus, you have something on the show notes?
Yeah, it's nothing related to any of these events. Yes, so there is a new Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne vinyl soundtrack box set that was announced this past week. And I am going to get it. I am 100% going to get it. It is coming from Fangamer, and they previously launched a Shin Megami Tensei 3 page store section when the HD version came out. And it had a handful of things, but now they just added more stuff. Oh. And I'm not sure why that is, unless maybe the vinyl production was so backed up they didn't want to tell anyone about it yet until it was closer to being available. But I'm gonna get that. I love this game. I love this soundtrack. I love vinyl.
Yeah.
I was I need this.
You're not gonna have to worry about with Sayano Uto where you picked up 4 copies of it.
No, it doesn't seem like it's super limited, and Fangamer is fine. I've never had problems with them in the past. So
good.
I'm gonna get it.
I won't, but I don't have a record player. I like Nocturne, but I don't really remember it. But you can enjoy it for both of us. Actually, that reminds me, we didn't talk about all the merchandise for Silent Hill that was announced during the stream. Yeah. They announced so many figures, and as we were watching, Marcus is pulling up the storefront I gotta buy all of this. I gotta buy this, and this, and he's gonna have a big bill. I don't think they've put up the figures for... Not
necessarily all of them. I think something is up right now.
Oh, the dog. Barry mentioned the dog. When that came on, I started screeching. I was like, the dog! So I might have to get that dog. Coin Bank is adorable. It's based on that joke ending where it was you all along or something? What did
Yes.
he
He opens the door, and James opens the door and sees his dog at the control panel. Yeah, he's like, it's you all along.
And then the ending theme is just woofing, right?
Yeah.
Bark, bark, bark.
Mm-hmm.
Classic. And then, so there are the figures, skateboards,
Mm-hmm.
other stuff.
Other stuff.
I don't remember. A lot of merch.
All kinds of stuff.
If you go on the webpage, I think there were even things they didn't mention in the stream that look new. So lots of stuff. If you like Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, it sucks. I'm gonna have to buy so much stuff.
It
dude.
sucks how much money you're gonna have to spend.
Yeah, because they released like a James figure. There's only been like one James figure ever before, so that one's pretty expensive and hard to come by. So this new one's like, well, I gotta get it, obviously.
And then there's a Mary running from
Maria.
Maria.
Yes, but that also there's never
Right,
been
so
a
there's
Maria
never been
figure,
one, and it looks really big and involved,
Yeah.
so it's probably gonna be expensive.
and there's never been a dog ending
No.
one.
R.I.P. your wallet, then.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to know how expensive those are gonna be, but
Yeah.
I might have to get the dog. We'll
Okay,
see.
get it.
Okay, but with that, I think we're at the end of episode 100 of Pixel Pixel. We've got one more game to give away if you're still here in the chat. Again, the rules are as follows. We're going to have one question. I got a backup question if someone doesn't happen to get it. But we've got a question, and you can put the answer in the chat. First person to answer will win the game. The game we are giving away is Pio Fiore Episodio 1926 for the Nintendo Switch. This is a code for the North American version. If you have already claimed a code today, we will give the code to the first person who has not received one from us. So the question I'm going to ask, and if nobody can get this, I'll ask another question, is what new Otome game did Aksys announce in this week's All Aksys stream? And if by any chance nobody in the chat claims this code, we will keep the code for the podcast and figure something out for the folks listening to the podcast.
Yeah,
feed.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Since everything's quiet, it seems like some folks are AFK.
Well, I know someone knows, but they're
I know someone knows. Sorry, Barry. We know you know. MDisc, you want to try for that one if you're still here? Okay, we'll give it a little more time. If anyone would like to say anything else in the chat while we're here, we'll read it on air. And again, Barry's getting a lot of call-outs today. What's the question again? MDisc. It is... I've already forgotten. What new Otome game did Aksys announce in this week's All Aksys stream? Oh, Shellbell got it. Congratulations, Shellbell Cosplay. Yes, it's Tengoku, short for Tengoku Struggle. That's the new game that was announced. And you're going to receive a message, a whisper shortly with that Pio Fiore 1926 code. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for entering. Sorry, MDisc. Sorry for calling you forth, and then Shellbell jumped in there. But I'm sure we'll have some more giveaways on future episodes and other things. So thank you everybody for joining us. I think with that, we're going to say goodbye for today. Goodbye for episode 100. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you so much for following along, listening to our episodes, supporting us. We saw a fair few of you at the All Aksys stream, and of course, people from All Aksys stream coming here. We really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. And here's to another 100 episodes.
Yes.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We shall see you again, as always, in 2 weeks.